So hello everyone. So this is a 2024 edition Lilac clock, and I'll show you how to set it up. So it comes like this. This is just a normal Lilac clock. Stand, tutorial, I think how to solve it. A couple cards. So here's the clock. And out the box, it will not be anything close to something like this 2024 edition. It's very fast, but this one is not as fast. It is pretty tight. And the reason why is one is not lubed, and as well there is the screws in there. Just some basic materials. I would like a heavier silicone lube. This one right here is weight 5 from the Cubicle, and as well a lighter silicone lube like a Lubest XMT 10. Other lubes you can use is like Speedy, Silk, Traxxas 50K. Lubes that won't work well, any like FZ lube, DNM, water-based lubes, don't use those. Those are not good. And then I would have this like a thumbtack that would push through plastic, a screwdriver, scissors, and electrical tape, like to tape the sides so the clock can stand up perfectly like that. First, I just unscrew each piece like this. Just take the clock and unscrew it. Here, sometimes it gets like stuck, you know, and it won't come out. So I just take a pin and I just push it out from the side, and it normally just comes out quite quickly. I'm also a little more stubborn. And then to get the nut in the back, I just take the screw it in a bit, and just go like that, and it comes out perfectly. Next, and then you just unscrew all of them. So. And there we go. I got all the screws out and the nuts at the back. And once you take it apart, you can already feel that this puzzle is getting a bit faster. It's a little bit looser, but it is dry on the inside and just doesn't feel great. So I just pop out these plastic covers and set it aside. And then what you want to do is just hold it in your left hand, take your right thumb, and just like pry it apart, and it'll come out like this. Just take all the pieces out and let's take out all these peach-ish colored ones here. This peach center magnet. I place it down into the center. Take a thumbtack, and what I want to do is just push down and take a bit force. Push it up. So now you can see that this magnet is pushed up instead of all the other ones being pushed down. And you want to do that for all the magnets, so you just keep going. So once you got all of them, it should look like this with the magnets raised up. Once you're finished, you can tell that all the magnets are like raised up. And then what I do is take something like this, or you could just use this. And I'll just like flatten it out, just making sure it's flush. Flush to like the plastic piece, because some of them may stick up above the plastic piece, so I just make sure they're flush down onto the like plastic part. Alright, now that is all flush, you could put it into the center. Make sure that the one that is raised is on the center, and then you could put all of these side. And you want to repeat this with the same one, but with the purple. So I'm just going to do it real quick here. Alright, so once you finished all the center magnets, I'd recommend just putting the clock back together first, just to test to see how the center magnets and their strength. If it's too strong, normally it would be too strong and I would lower it, but I'll just put the plastic cases back on and just turn the puzzle. Obviously, it's going to be really slow at first, just because it hasn't been lubed. Here I feel that the center magnets are a bit strong, so I'm going to lower them just a bit. And by doing that, I'm just going to take the blunt end and just push it down a little past the top surface. Once that both center magnets are lowered again, I just take the clock apart again, as well making sure to set aside the center magnets so we can just separate them and make sure they go into the actual center, and then set everything else aside into a different pile. And now it's time to lube the clock. If you want a relatively slower clock, I'd use weight 5 or like a thicker silicone lube. But if you would want a faster clock, I'd put XMT 10. Or if you want a moderately fast but still very controllable clock, I'd use a mixture between light silicone and a heavy silicone lube. Remember, no water-based lubes. So yeah, I'll add a little bit more into this bottom here. Normally with a thicker lube like weight 5, I'd normally go in with my hand, spread it out first, and then like thin it out and spread it evenly across with a tissue again. Just gonna go in, just apply it onto the face of the clock. And if you see any like clumps of lube, I'd just like spread that around the clock, all over each side, each ring, and everything. Obviously, you wouldn't have to go through this spreading hassle if you use a thinner lube, since weight 5 is quite thick and is hard to like spread around the clock. Once you add the heavier lube, I'd put it together and just like adjust to see how the clock feels, if you like just weight 5 or like a thicker silicone lube. So yeah, I think a lighter lube for my preferences is not required. And actually, if anything, I'd actually add a little bit of lube onto the covers, the plastic covers. The reason why the plastic covers still make contact, since the plastic covers do stay in contact with it, lubing it won't be that bad of an idea. Just that it may look a little bit lubey on the outside, so I'd be careful. Here I'm just gonna add a light amount of XMT 10 onto the surfaces. Just that amount, if you can see that. Just a couple slashes. I'm just gonna take a napkin. It's pretty much perfect. Go on to the second side, and you just add some up here. That was a lot there. There was a lot. Once the covers are lubed, I'll just add it onto the back on. Word. Oh, word. No. I often find that adding actual XMT into the actual puzzle makes it more swishy. So this is a nice way of adding speed into the clock while still remaining that tactile feel. Outside, I'll just make sure no dust. I'm just gonna do a quick solve.